Molly. Welcome back to Mirror Readings. We're talking about the pathway of initiative today. That takes us from our core to our culture sphere in the Pearl sequence. Let's get into it. So initiative inherently involves some degree of risk. We're making ourselves vulnerable if we're taking initiative. But initiative is also the core foundational principle that prosperity is built on. There is no prosperity without initiative, and there is no initiative without a little bit of risk, at least, maybe a lot of risk. So risk management and tolerance, and maybe pushing our edge on that, or reining it in if we're like really risk prone, is essential to being able to stabilize on this pathway. And this is a pathway of challenge. Again, each of the three sequences in the gene keys has a pathway of challenge, breakthrough, and core stability. So as we move from our core, into our vocation via our culture sphere, and culture relates to how we fit into society and how we fit in professionally. We're inherently moving through the challenge. So look at the two shadows of your core and your culture to see how these might play together and how you can move from the shadow of that core to the gift of your culture. You see what I mean? On this pathway, we must dare to be divine. We must take the initiative that brings us not just into our gifts, but into the Siddhic states. Richard Rudd likes to tell us that these Siddhic states are actually ordinary states of consciousness that we flick in and out of. Maybe, sometimes, some of them. But I get what he means. Like, we shouldn't see the cities as being so far away and unattainable in this lifetime. So part of our challenge in this pathway of initiative is just imagining what those Siddhic states might feel like. This can be really hard when we're still locked in shadow patterns, as yours truly is guilty of here in her Pearl sequence. So again, I have that shadow of dislocation that takes me to my culture sphere, which is gene key 19. So that's the shadow of codependence, the gift of sensitivity, and the city of sacrifice. I'm just gonna give you a diagram really quick. I feel like it would be good for you. So in my culture sphere, I have the 19th shadow of codependence that gives way to the gift of sensitivity and the city of sacrifice. So this gift of sensitivity, it can't really be accessed until I stabilize as an independent emotional being, okay? So I have to stop worrying about everyone else, stop trying to manage everyone else's experience in order for me to stabilize in this gift. And it hasn't been easy. I've had a lot of codependence issues at work. And now, as I'm moving actively, consciously, right, I'm working with these keys every day, moving from that shadow state of dislocation, okay, and I'm able to orient spiritually. I don't need to orient to my individual identity anymore. I mean, sometimes in a low moment, but generally speaking, I can usually relate to my higher self as much, if not more so, than my individual human personality of Molly. As I'm oriented, I'm able to more readily access this gift of sensitivity, but it has to come from being an independent emotional being. I think I said in a previous video, I just got some feedback that I still worry so much about everyone around me. I worry so much about their experience and perceptions, and that's codependent as shit, man. So I have to stabilize in that gift of orientation, okay? Stay oriented to my true higher self and to the creator in order for me to stabilize and get out of codependence. It's not easy, and this is my big challenge. I come from a very codependent family system. Sorry, mom and dad. Everyone's just doing their best. But for real, who didn't come from a codependent family system? Good for you. Prosperity is all about balance. So how can I balance, and I'm just gonna use myself as an example, how can I balance my needs, okay, my desires with everyone else's? I tend to operate in extremes. Either I'm super worried about everybody else, or I'm blowing them off and I'm totally self-centered. How do I bring balance into this area of my life, balancing my experience with that of other? Because that's essential to me unlocking my prosperity. I cannot fully get the bag, all right? I can get little bags here and there, this bag over here. Oh no, I fumbled the bag, blah, 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 until I get out of this shadow of codependence and stabilize in sensitivity, which is gonna come from being an independent emotional being. Let's check the Pearl Sequence book here for some words of wisdom on this. Let's see. You have to balance peacefulness with practicality. If you only live for the moment without a care for the future, then your life will move out of balance. If you put all your energy into saving for the future, but miss out on the joyousness of life and it passes you by, then you're also out of balance. Prosperity means you can live both poles. It doesn't have very much to do with money at all. It has to do with your ability to see life with clarity. I need to contemplate that one. I gotta chew on that for a minute. Okay, got it. We need the clarity to see what in our life needs balancing. We need the clarity moment to moment to assess, is this a moment to be conservative and think about the future, or is this a moment to let that go and just be in the joy of the now? I'm more of a joy of the now type of girl, so I can't really relate to all this future planning, but that's me being unbalanced, all right? We're coming into balance. That's what this work is all about. And what I just did there, that pause, that is essential. Richard Rudd said every pause in our day is a gateway. Every pause is rippling with awareness that we can't access if we're just in this constant stream of thought. So, pause. Ooh, how does that make me feel? What does it mean? So much juice in the pause. So what are we doing? We're juicing the pause. We're waiting for the clarity to come. And the other thing that we're doing is looking at how the shadows of our core and our culture might be creating a blockage with money. So many of us struggle to see ourselves as prosperous, and that's a problem. So there's a spiritual mistake many of us make with money, when we're on the spiritual path, we tend to see money as bad or wanting money as bad. This will really fuck us up, because being prosperous is all about being able to live an amazing life, and we can't do that if we're in survival mode. There's nothing unspiritual about being able to enjoy our time here on Earth. And let's be honest, money just makes that time really fun and a lot easier. So as part of this pathway of challenge and initiative, Richard Rudd recommends that we ask ourselves, can I see myself as truly prosperous? And really sit with what the answer is. So he writes, there is no discrepancy between earning a healthy income and being awake. If you're not materially prosperous already, perhaps you've not quite answered this question truthfully inside yourself. I know I haven't, and I know what my homework is tonight. As we take action through the lens of the gifts that lie along this pathway, again, that's between our core and our culture, we are acting in harmony with life. And that's what the gift frequency is all about, right? The gifts are what magnetize what we want, while the shadows keep it away. So when we harmonize with life, of course we're already in the gift frequency. I literally cannot take aligned action when I'm in that shadow of codependence. So this is just me reminding myself that even if I think I'm just being courteous, being worried about other people's experiences all the time is codependent AF, and it's blocking my bag. Don't forget, Molly. All right, now that that note is officially in the record, I want to leave you with a little bit from the Pearl Sequence book. Your work is an extension of your higher purpose, which is to open your heart. Oh yeah. So once your heart is more open, then your natural impulse is to express your love through your work. Okay, cool. We create and exchange resources with each other because we may need them, but the exchange itself is often the most potentially fulfilling part of the process. Ooh, as we enter the Pearl Sequence, we're going to see that prosperity cannot exist in isolation. Prosperity is a group grope. Let's go. It does not say group grope here, just FYI. And anytime we're feeling spun out about money, it's all about reorienting to gratitude. Having the attitude of gratitude, and we can be grateful for anything, dude. I'm grateful that I have fucking hands, that I have all my fingers and toes, that I have air to breathe, okay? That I have friends who will take me in if I don't have a place to go tonight. Just be grateful for literally anything, and that automatically puts us into initiative. We have to take the initiative just to be grateful in the first place. So already we're heading towards the gift frequencies if we're not there already, if we're in gratitude. All right, so that's the challenge pathway of initiative. I'm Molly, and thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you'd like to get a Gene Keys reading from me, please visit my website, mirrorreadings.com, and subscribe to this channel, this one right here, to save 15% on all my offerings. We'll see you next time.